Well, what do you guys want to talk about in the world of professional wrestling? Vince McMahon, you say? Yeah, let's talk about that, shall we? I'm John Rentham with my real honest thoughts on Vince McMahon's secret hush money pact. Well, it really isn't a secret anymore. Boy, Vince McMahon's been a naughty little individual, hasn't he? And so has Mr. People Power. Boy, it has been an interesting few days in the world of WWE, the corporate environment, and everything's been turned upside down, knocked around, all around. Come on, defense work. I need to retro review, bring it on at some point. Nevertheless, there's going to be a mixture of anger, stating some facts that have been, well, proven as facts. That's kind of how facts work, and also some jokes, because I'm not going to lie to you, this isn't even going to crack the top 20 as far as worst things that Vince McMahon has done while he's been a promoter, or even in his goddamn life. I mean, I could go over that stuff, and I will at some point, probably a few minutes into this video, but let's talk about the Wall Street Journal's, breaking story, because this was a big goddamn deal. I woke up to this and was like, what the fuck is going on? It has been so goddamn bizarre. So, and I'm not going to read the whole goddamn article, because A, I wasn't going to use that much notepaper, and also a lot of it was fluff stuff. Talking about how Vince McMahon's been the owner of WWE, well, it was WWF at the time, and, since 1982, and all the stuff that he's done and everything, and mentioned some of the stuff, didn't mention some of the stuff I'm going to fucking mention, but here we go. So, the board of WWE is investigating a secret $3 million settlement to a departed employee that he had an affair with. I mean, Vince McMahon admitted, on a radio show, I think it was Howard Stern or whatever, it was some high-profile show, in the 90s or early 2000s that he had an affair, and Linda forgave him for it. Well, forgave him. And it happened in January of this year. And basically, the individual that I'm not going to name, Brad fucking Shepard, by the way, that noted piece of shit, that, cesspool, that, the stain on the underwear of life, that goddamn atrocity that has no business calling himself a wrestling fan or existing on this fucking planet, broke who the person was. Do not name who the fucking person was in the comment. Just don't fucking do it. Non-disclosure agreements were signed. This person was hired as paralegal in 2019. And the agreement basically prevented this person from talking and their name being exposed. Unless, of course, action was taken, which it sounds like action's being fucking taken. The board is investigating an independent, investigation. Bull fucking shit, by the way. Bull fucking shit. Began in April. And it's funny that Stephanie McMahon left for, certain reasons soon after that to take time with her family. But it could have something to do with Triple H's health. It could have also had something to do with the fact that maybe she fucking knew about this and she's like, I'm going to get out while the getting's good. So, unearthed more NDA claims by former female employees. Pretends to be shocked? No. Misconduct with Vince and Johnny Ace. I'm not surprised by Johnny Ace. I mean, look at the, how he hired women to get into wrestling, looked in lingerie catalogs and whatever, and swimsuit catalogs. And some of those women turned out to be very beneficial to wrestling. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying how he clearly views women. So they weren't sure how many other NDAs exist. Obviously, quite a few if they found, that many more, because they said agreement. So I'm guessing it's probably at least 10, if not more. The board was determining how the payments were done. And the company takes these allegations very seriously. Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit. It's hard to root for WWE. I have to root for it in spite of the corporate bullshit. And I'm definitely not saying that other non-publicly traded companies, Impact, AEW, New Japan, don't have their own goddamn issues. WWE had the record profits, record revenue, $1.1 billion, a net income of $180.4 million. I have a very hard time believing that it's just $180.4. I think it's more than that. The deals with NBC on the cock, Fox, and Hulu to run Raw and, the various other shows and everything that they have. And Vince, he's a majority owner. Obviously, he's a majority fucking owner. He paid the employee $100,000 a year, starting, and then doubled that when the affair began. Man, fucking hell, that's really just goddamn disturbing. Hey, I'll give you more money if you sleep with me. I'll dip my pen in company ink. Ha, come, ha ha. Just picture 70-plus-year-old Vince McMahon getting it up and genetic jackhammering somebody. Have fun on seeing that, folks. You're welcome. If I have to think about this stuff, then so do all of you people. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here. That full video, by the way, is on WWE's YouTube channel. In all seriousness, gave her like a toy to Johnny Ace was one of the quotes in an email sent by somebody who's I believe, an email that was leaked. Who leaked these emails? Probably Nick Khan. Or Stephanie might have. Or maybe Shane McMahon hacked the goddamn email interface. I don't fucking know. I'd say Nick Khan. The email also went on to say, my friend was so scared that she quit after Vince and Jerry McDevitt, paid her millions to shut up. Now, Jerry McDevitt's a hell of a goddamn attorney. I'm also not shocked that he's involved in this. The NDA provided, basically it provided an upfront payment of $1 million, and then the $2 million of the $3 million was to be spread out over 5 fucking years. Former employee had fallen on hard times taking care of his sick employee, and then other fluff shit, starting the company and all that and everything, and that's basically the various things that happened. This all broke yesterday. Well, yesterday as I'm recording. I mean, if you don't get this video until, say, it broke Thursday morning, I got woken up and I go, what the? Somebody's sending me these screenshots of me, and I'm trying to wake up, and it's like early in the morning, but this news broke early. I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so early for me means it's already like, say, 10 a.m. on the or on the East Coast. But Stephanie is going to be the interim CEO while Vince McMahon has stepped down. This is a big deal as far as women being in power. I will agree there. But let's not absolve Stephanie of, anything that she did and the fact that she's no better than Vince as far as how she views business. She has an ego about herself. And then again, who doesn't? But the post 9/11 SmackDown comments, I don't fucking care if those were 20-something years ago. You don't say that shit if you're somebody that's been out of college for a few years. You don't fucking say that shit. You know what I'm talking about. And also she tweeted out in something that was from a few years ago, philanthropy is the future of marketing. It's the way brands are going to win. Basically saying the charity is all just stuff where we just use it for PR and everything. Oh, but we put smiles on people's faces. I'm not saying that Vince McMahon ain't a horrible human being. Oh, he fucking is. I will talk about some of that stuff here in a bit. But yes, it's a big deal that Stephanie is going to be the interim CEO. Let's not act like some of her ideas as far as being any, creative mind or whatever were really goddamn good. She was never really a good on-screen performer after a certain time. It got to the point where nobody wanted to fucking see it. So I'm just saying right there. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to dump the fuck on Vince. I'm going to dump on him like it's a goddamn steamer from, a certain Ohio city. Gross. That was something that I probably should have thought about, but I'm fired the fuck up. Stephanie McMahon, though, running the company, cool. I'm just saying that I'm not going to absolve her of everything just because she's a woman in power. That's how equality works. So, what comes next? Vince McMahon is still in charge of creative, even though he stepped down from his CEO duty. So he's not out of the company. And Linda McMahon was a CEO of the goddamn company for a number of years after Vince stepped down, because even though Vince was the owner of the company, the steroid trial and all that and everything, and Jerry Jarrett possibly being brought in because Vince McMahon was going to be sent to jail. Now it's funny that Jeff Jarrett is in charge of, or in a high-ranking position. Imagine if it ends up with Jeff Jarrett being in, a high-ranking position after Vince McMahon. If he doesn't go to jail, he's ousted from his own goddamn company. Jerry couldn't do it, but god damn it, Jeff was able to. So, what does this mean for Vince McMahon's douchebag yes men? It likely means that Bruce Pritchard will be canned. I hope that Bruce Pritchard is canned, because that stupid goddamn inbred, worthless fuck never deserved to be in wrestling. Buys into his own goddamn shit, has horrible goddamn ideas, and apparently had shoulder surgery because he patted himself on the back too goddamn much. In all seriousness, Bruce Pritchard has just been an ass kisser and not really worth much of anything, but since he kisses Vince's ass, that's why he's there. Johnny Ace has to go. Johnny Ace shouldn't have been rehired in the first fucking place. And also, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm willing to be corrected if I'm wrong, because even though I'm never wrong, I kid, there's always a chance. Isn't he married to the Bella's mom? And he's doing stuff like this? Yes, there are plenty of corporate people, men, women, space aliens from Uranus, that cheat on their significant others. I'm not saying that doesn't fucking happen. But, he married up, I guess you could say, even though I don't really care for the Bellas at all. That's another video for another day. You still make a commitment to somebody. I mean, fucking Christ, I guess he really did take, advice from Mrs. Baba, Giant Baba's widow. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to fucking say. Johnny Ace has to be fucking terminated and has to have all his corporate stuff, whatever, taken away, all his duties, pension, whatever the fuck it is, take it away. It's not like he hasn't made millions of dollars. It's not like he won't be comfortable, but he doesn't deserve the retirement stuff for participating in this fucking bullshit. So, what happens next? Kevin Dunn hopefully gets fucking fired. Kevin Dunn deserves to be sent down the goddamn river, even though he's a Bucky Beaver-toothed motherfucker and could probably build his own goddamn dam. Let's just put a freaking guard over him like Hannibal Lecter, and then we could send him over Niagara Falls. I wish that Kevin Dunn was throwing that goddamn car fire that his dad got the tapes out of. We would have all been spared dealing with Kevin Dunn if he had never fucking been bored. Yeah, I don't really care for Kevin Dunn, in case you can't tell. But let's talk about some of that stuff that I alluded to about Vince McMahon and all the crap that he's done. Saying that this won't crack the top 20. This is a serious discussion, despite some of the comments that I've made. This is a serious topic. That employee, regardless of the situation, being taking care of a sick parent, falling on hard times, nobody. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you come from another planet. You don't deserve to be treated like that. At all. You don't deserve to be put in that position. Whoever this person is, again, don't you fucking mention the goddamn name. Otherwise, you're going to be no better than Brad Shepard. And Brad Shepard deserves, well, every bit of ridicule that he gets. And if that guy actually ever got in a goddamn fight, he'd, run away like a limp dick, wet noodle shit that he is. Stupid motherfucker. His parents should be brought up on charges for, allowing him to be carried to full term or whatever. You shouldn't have listened to Mommy Dearest. That's all I'm going to say. If you get it, you fucking get it. But Vince McMahon grew up not in the best place because he didn't know his dad until he became a teenager. He got into the company, did the stuff and everything, and wanted to take it over and take it national. He was able to make installments, I believe, of something like $1 million or a couple. I actually don't remember the exact figures. I think it was $1 million, or I think it was $1.5 million. But he used the profits that he earned from running the goddamn thing and touring to pay it off. He used company profits to pay it off because Vince McMahon is just that goddamn shrewd, but that goddamn smart. Took it over in 1982. There's not going to be a career retrospective on Vince. Don't worry, I'm going to wrap this up here in about maybe, 5 or so minutes. But the whole point is 1983, May of 1983 comes along. Jimmy Snuka murders Nancy Argentino. Never spent a goddamn day in jail. Fuck Jimmy Snuka. I'm glad he's dead. I hope he suffered, and I hope that goddamn cancer that he had ate away at whatever was left of his worthless soul. I hope Tamina's doing great, by the way, with the house that The Rock bought her. But Jimmy Snuka's a goddamn piece of shit. But Vince McMahon paid off the police chief a sizable amount of money. And Jimmy Snuka, in turn, kept getting hooked on drugs and had to eventually be released. But that's just one thing. Vince McMahon also played dirty with Jim Crockett Jr., taking over the TBS time slot, buying out the shares from the Briscoes, I believe, and ousting people, and taking over and being on WTBS as well as USA Network. And all the shrewd other stuff that he did with the territories. But he did that with Jim Crockett Jr. He bought out, he took a bunch of Vern Gagne's talent at that point. Hulk Hogan and various other people and everything. Kept being shrewd. Kicked Jim Crockett Jr. off of all but like 5 cable stations for when he was running Starrcade 97, or 87 rather. Starrcade 97 being run by Crockett would have been interesting. And then does all the stuff running Survivor Series that same goddamn night. And said, oh, you won't carry WrestleMania or you can't carry WrestleMania if you carry this. Not even, if the cable companies had thought for 5 fucking seconds, wait a second, he's going to shoot himself in the foot just to not have this guy? Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. So then, all the shrewd business stuff, there was the Rita, I don't remember the goddamn last name, but did alleged sexual harassment. There was the masseuse sexual harassment thing, because apparently he took, inspiration from Robert Kraft, or Robert Kraft took inspiration from him, if you know, you know. And then we go just all the fucking stuff that he did. Like, rehiring Warrior multiple goddamn times. I want to take this opportunity to say, fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. Let's take a look at the Ring Boy scandal. Google, or YouTube rather, Phil Donahue, WWE Ring Boy scandal. And just watch Vince, who gets really defensive And the fact that basically Pat Patterson, Terry Garvin, and I'm sure there were a couple of other people involved, did all that shit, and Vince McMahon somehow survived that. Then the steroid trial thing came along. You can check out the Dark Side of the Ring episode if you would like, though that really didn't touch too much on it. I mean, it touched on some. But the whole point is, he survived the steroid trial. He kept doing shrewd business. He would, he would do this. He would continue to try to sabotage WCW. And WCW tried to sabotage him, but he would always cry, "Oh, I'm a family business. I'm sports entertainment, pal." Ha ha ha. He basically said that, it's all entertainment. It's not actually a sport, and that we script our stuff and everything. And then Jim Herd came out and said same fucking thing. I would say fuck Jim Herd. I'm glad he's dead, but unfortunately Jim Herd is still alive. The whole point is this brings us up to the 90s. And then there's so many other goddamn things that Vince McMahon kept doing. So many things that he kept doing. In the 90s, 1999, the Melanie Pillman thing. I mean, I have no sympathy for Melanie Pillman, given what she ended up doing, and I have no sympathy for the fact that drug-addled bitch finally died. But at the time, Vince McMahon, not even 24 hours, the body was barely cold on Brian Pillman Sr. Feels weird to say Brian Pillman Sr. He brought her on there basically saying, "Oh, what are you going to do now that you don't have a husband to provide for you?" It's very fucking uncomfortable and very, very weird. And very, very bad. Basically, Vince saying, "Oh, we didn't do anything." I mean, now granted, Pillman was on his own goddamn self-destructive path, but never the fucking less. He did all this stuff. He did that. The Owen Hart situation, not wanting to use a better, company to lower him. And then the first of all, I resent your tone thing, the way he just blew that shit off. Martha Hart deserves so much money for that thing. She's doing fine for herself and did great stuff with the Owen Hart Foundation and trying to help people. But Vince McMahon being the piece of shit after somebody died on pay-per-view and he kept running that damn thing. You could have waited a week. It's not like WWE business wasn't rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling at that point. That put the talents at risk, put everybody at risk while a guy died. And by the way, fuck Kevin Dunn for doing all that shit and, saying, "Oh, JR, he's dead, and you're back in 10, 9, and everything." So, yeah, Kevin Dunn should have been kicked right in the fucking teeth, and they should have gone to his goddamn head, opening a Con Air style, if you know, you know. And, yeah, he continued the goddamn pay-per-view after that. So, yeah, that's pretty goddamn shitty. I mean, there's all the other stuff. He fought his daughter right before she got married. Said that he was going to have Undertaker's wife arred by a motorcycle gang around that same time. So many things that Vince did on camera and whatever. The way he handled the purchase of WCW, basically effectively burying all the people. Sure, Sean Stasiak reportedly leaked the fact that they were going to do a run-in, but nevertheless, he could have actually handled that a little bit better, but Vince didn't want to handle that better. He basically just wanted to continue to bury WCW, which he fucking did. I rewatched The Alliance. He never wanted to make them seem like equals, and he put more of his guys with The Alliance. So that's storyline. The over-the-edge stuff should have been like a major indicator that Vince McMahon is a goddamn idiot and a goddamn soulless bastard. And then we go to 2005 when Eddie Guerrero passed away. And then they decided to use Eddie Guerrero's death in the in a storyline and everything. Because Eddie's not up there. He's down there in hell. And then the Chris Benoit thing, where he decided to write off Chris Benoit, and basically that's it. And Vince didn't take any responsibility for that. Yes, granted, Chris Benoit had done a whole bunch of shit to himself before he came to WWE. But then you take a look at all the shit that he did and was asked to do in the company. And just do all that shit and everything, and there's blame on both sides. There's certainly blame on Vince's side. And there's so many other goddamn things. Saying the N-word while Booker T was right there. I don't fucking care if he asked Booker if it was okay. You don't say that as a white guy with a black eye. You don't say that as a white guy in general. You don't say it with anybody black around you. You don't say it in general. You fucking goddamn idiots. And there's so much other shit going on. So much other shit that would take forever to unpack on this goddamn video. That's just scratching the fucking surface of shit that Vince McMahon did. And everybody's shocked that this guy that did all this stuff would do something like this and treat a woman, give her or pass her around like a toy. I feel for the former employee. I hope she can find peace. Fuck Brad Shepard for ever fucking existing. You should have crawled back in your mother's goddamn womb and calcified. And she fucking deserved to have that happen for raising you and giving birth to you. But nevertheless, Vince McMahon, what does the future, this is what I'm wrapping up with. What does the future mean? What is this going to turn out to, what is this all going to mean? If the shareholders and the board, if other people decide to oust Vince, easy for me to say, is a big goddamn deal, and Kevin Dunn and various others could be fired and should be fired. I don't know if this is going to end up meaning anything. They're probably going to conduct their investigation, and then Vince is probably going to be back in power by SummerSlam. Now, this is a very, very fluid and flowing situation. It sounds uncomfortable for everybody, but Vince McMahon could be back in power by SummerSlam. He could be back in power by Money in the Bank. I really hope that's not the case. I really hope this leads to widespread change, but so many women are leaving the company. Former employees, all that stuff and everything. And now it looks like Sasha and Naomi leaving just because of creative stuff and a bunch of building bullshit. Maybe isn't, and I mean bullshit from the company, not from them. I respect what they did. I respect what Sasha and Naomi did. Finally saying, we fucking had it. There are many people that have been leaving because of just how Vince is. I mean, it looks like you could take most of his face and make a full-grown human being because he's looking really old. It's like he's got his own death mask on there. He doesn't sound well. He doesn't look well. And I'm really not going to shed a goddamn tear when Vince McMahon finally passes away. I'm really not. Is it going to be a big deal? Sure, it's going to be a big goddamn deal. Vince McMahon, as a character, one of the most dynamic characters that has ever been created, at least in the modern era of wrestling, maybe of all time. Because Vince McMahon made his appearances special. And even when he appeared week after week after week, he managed to keep it fresh. But that's a character. The real human being, he's one of many wrestling promoters that's a goddamn piece of shit with shady business practices and all this stuff and everything. But if this ends up taking Vince McMahon down, I'm going to fucking laugh. And I'm going to do a companion video and talk about that. But name some of the stuff that Vince McMahon did that you absolutely hated, that you just found abysmal. And I'm going back years and years and years. Stuff I forgot about. Mention them in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.